Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kal Halal Yahweh Basham Yoshai Basham Rekak Dash. Double honors to your elders of GMS, great millstone, Shalom. So, fell out from the elder here
Shalom, shalom.
about Columbus Day. So, here are the indigenous people Christopher Columbus and his men could not annihilate. This was the title of it. The Lucayan did not know it was October 12, 1492. Keep going down. Columbus and his crew stayed just long enough to kidnap a few inhabitants. Kidnapping is against the law too on the scriptures. In Hispaniola, I pronounce this, what is now Haiti, in the Dominican Republic, Columbus encountered the Lucayans, cousins, the Taino. The Lucayans were a branch of the much larger Taino who were part of the Arawak language group. So these are Israelites. Historians disagree on how many Taino lived on Hispaniola at the time, with estimates ranging from 60,000 to 8 million. One contemporary account from Bartolome de las Casas, how do you pronounce this man's name, claimed there were 3 million. More about Las Casas shortly. Go down some more. After significantly overselling the prospects for gold to the king and queen of Spain, Columbus returned to Hispaniola with 17 ships, 12,000 men, 1,200 men. The men he had left at the fort the year before had all been killed after they had roamed the island in gangs looking for gold, taking women and children as slaves for sex and labor. Zinn wrote. Columbus's men also continued to sexually abuse Taino women and girls. In 1500, Columbus wrote to an acquaintance that there are many dealers who go about looking for girls. Those from 9 to 10 are now in demand. So you know they was raping the men's wives. Alright. This engraving by Horst van Wink and Theodore de Bry, I pronounce his names, depicts the atrocities committed by the Spanish explorers on the indigenous people of the Caribbean, described by Bartolomé de las Casas. Bartolomé de las Casas arrived in Hispaniola in 1502 when he was 18. For decades, he participated in the mistreatment of the Taino and the introduction of enslaved Africans before renouncing it all, becoming a Dominican friar, and confessing what he had witnessed in a short account of the destruction of the Indies. It's worth quoting him at length. This excerpt is very graphic. They, Spanish explorers, forced their way into native settlements, Israelite settlements, slaughtering everyone they found there, including small children, old men, pregnant women, and even women who had just given birth. They hacked them to pieces, slicing open their bellies with their swords, as though they were so many sheep herded into a pen. They even laid wagers on whether they could slice a man in two at a stroke or cut an individual's head from his body. So, decapitate somebody. Alright, now if you go on this thing, prisoners sentenced to beheading in certain areas in England would also pay their executioners, requesting execution in a single blow. That's what I was looking for. This is something different. Alright, got something here. Beheading or decapitation can be quick and relatively painless if the executioner is precise and the instrument is sharp. However, if the execution is clumsy or the tool is blunt, it can be a prolonged and more painful process. So, when they was beheading, as you saw, or disembowel him with a single blow of their axes. Oh, imagine if they didn't do it in a single blow. Slice a man in two at a stroke. I don't think they could. I don't think they could do that unless their blades were that sharp. And if not, well, that person would be being hacked in half. They grabbed suckling infants by the feet and ripping them from their mother's breasts, dashed them headlong against the rocks. Others laughing and joking all the while threw them over their shoulders, shouting, "Wriggle, you little perisher." Hosea chapter 13, verse 16. Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her power. They shall fall by the sword, their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women shall be slackened, and their women with child shall be ripped up. So Samaria here is referring to the northern kingdom. And what that man described in his short account of the destruction of the Indies, you see in verse 16. NLT, the people of Samaria must bear the consequences of their guilt. Because they rebelled against their power, they would be killed by invading armies, and their little ones dashed to death against the ground, their pregnant women ripped open by swords. Their little ones dashed to death against the ground. They grabbed suckling infants by the feet, and ripping them from their mother's breast, dashed them headlong against the rocks. So the rocks, the ground. When Las Casas wrote this in 1542, there were only 200 cattle left on Hispaniola across the Caribbean. He claimed the Spanish were responsible for the deaths of 12 to 15 million indigenous people. Wow. Soon after Columbus's death in 1506, Spanish explorers moved on to other islands like Puerto Rico and Jamaica, and according to Las Casas, perpetrated the same outrages and committed the same crimes as before. The Spanish here were not referring to Israelites. He's referring to the Edomites. Christopher Columbus, Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Christopher Columbus did a lot of killing with the sword in his men. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Modern day sword is the gun. There's a lot of other type of weapons though, but the modern day sword is the gun. What is captivity? Captivity is slavery. He that leadeth into slavery shall go into slavery. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 20. Behold, saith God. Behold, saith the power, the Most High Yahweh. I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also a recompense in their bosom, saith the Lord Yahweh. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Now, there was judgment against the northern kingdom, and Christopher Columbus was doing all that. Now, as you see, though, he could shed an innocent blood, though, Christopher Columbus. The fire is going out, Salakia, the fire is going forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. When World War III goes nuclear, because you see us being in like World War III right now, it just hasn't gone nuclear yet. When it goes nuclear, there's going to be a fire. The Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles, the ICBM, also known in the scriptures as the glittering sword. And when Yahweh Shai comes back with the angels and their chariots, it's going to be laser beams, it's going to be more fire. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children from the power, defile not my sanctuary. You also have Israelites that shed innocent blood too. But talk about Christopher Columbus. Can't get a thimble full of gold, beheadings, cut off ears, and cut off their hands. They were enslaved for gold mining. Here it is. Cutting in half, beheadings, vats of boiling soap, killing infants. Thrown into vats of boiling soap. Psalm chapter 17, verse 13, it says, Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. The Edomites are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. You have wicked people, you have wicked Israelites, but who are the wicked? As Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because Columbus was the wicked. Which is what? Which is thy sword. So the Most High uses these Edomites like a tool, like a sword. He uses them to bring judgment. Now all so-called white people are not Edomites. You have Israelites that would look like so-called white people. You have Israelites that would look like other nations as well. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh of armies, because hosts is going into armies. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. Where these Edomites go, they establish wickedness. And the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6, Seeing it is the righteous thing with God, with the Most High Yahweh, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. It is a righteous thing with Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Esau is going to get judgment upon himself for what he did to the children of Israel. Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8, For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, After the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. Toucheth the apple of his eye, referring to the Most High Yahweh. So, for he that toucheth the Israelites, toucheth the apple of the Most High Yahweh his eye. The Most High Yahweh truly does care for the Israelites and his son Yahweh Shai. You can see in John chapter 3 verse 16, if you go there, talks about, For Yahweh so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him should have everlasting life. The word there for world in the Greek in John 3:16 is going to go back to cosmos. And that's referring to the world of the Israelites. Red letter words of Yahweh Shai. Alright. Got the Son of Yahweh. Alright, world.
Strong's G 2889. Cosmos. Cosmos.
A group of people, geographically, historically, socially. Gives an example. The Roman world, the Romans, the Roman civilization. Well, this, in John 3:16, is referring to the world of the Israelites. So now what we do is Acts chapter 3, verse 19. Repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord. And also Judges chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers and places of drawing water. The archers, nuclear missiles, ICBMs, are arrows. Places of drawing water, places of captivity. Who's going to be delivered from the noise of archers in the places of their captivity? The Israelites. The elect of the nation of Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel. In Judah, it's the so-called Negroes. Benjamin is the so-called West Indians. Levi is the so-called Haitians. That is the southern kingdom of the 12 tribes of Israel. Simeon is the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon is the so-called Guatemalans to Panamanians. Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh is the so-called Cubans. Gad is the so-called North American Indians. Reuben is the so-called Seminole Indians. Naphtali is the so-called the Argentinians to Chileans. Asher is the so-called Colombians to Uruguayans. Issachar is so-called Mexicans. That is the northern kingdom of the 12 tribes of Israel. So out of these 12 tribes, plus the Israelites scattered across the globe, and the Israelites scattered across the globe that would look like the other nations, out of all of Israel, only 1/3, the remnant, a few, the elect, will be saved. As the scriptures saith. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. My inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. You are speckled bird, Israelites. Israelites that look like the other nations, but they are Israelites by blood. They go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by blood. So you will have Israelites that look like so-called white people, Edomites, speckled bird Israelites, but they are not Edomites, they are Israelites. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, even the righteous acts to the inhabitants of his villages. In Yasharallah, Israel, then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gates. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. Remember though, for by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves is a gift of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, not of works as any man should boast. Galatians chapter 3, verse 11. But that no man are justified by the law in the sight of the Most High Yahweh is evident, for the just shall live by faith. Now the scriptures also talk about Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Word here for God forbid in the Greek is running no. Yea, we establish the law. So you follow the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your abilities, but we're not being saved by the law. With that, shalom. Shalom. Christopher Columbus Day is a pagan holiday, and I implore you to watch Elder Yawakanan, his teaching about it. Shalom.